Okay, I'm doing some more tinsel work here on a Batson Eternity rod. I'm using the tinsel that has the stars, and you see, I'm sure you can see it in the video, that I wrapped it helically onto the blank, just like you would do cork tape or thread or whatever. This is the third coat of finish that I put over the top of it. And then I'll take more pictures when I do the next phase. Okay, I'm getting ready to do the next step on this wrap with the tinsel. I've already started a wrap of medium blue, or baby blue, however you want to call it, white and dark blue, which I'm going to remove the white and the dark blue eventually. So what I need to do is get something in there to help me pull them up and snip them so I can remove them. So what I've done is I've just taken a regular loop like we use to tie off a wrap, and I'll put it around the blue and the dark blue and the white. Separate them out here. Put it around it. Slip the end back through, and then there you have it. I have a way to get them out when I get to the end of the wrap without having to dig around and root around and try to find it. So then I will continue this 3-thread wrap all the way across, and I'll come back to it when I'm ready to pull the threads. Alright, now I've wrapped all the way across with the kind of a medium blue or turquoise, white, and dark blue. I've done the burnishing. I burnished towards the butt on the 0 and 180 axis with a little bit of burnishing towards the tip, just off of the center lines. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out the white and dark blue. Remember I showed you I put that little loop in? Well, this is why. So I could pull it up and take my sharp blade and put it right underneath. Pretty hard to do it at this angle. Okay, I've cut it, and then it's just a matter of pulling it out. Now I don't pull it out. What I do is I back it out. See, I turn the blank so that the thread comes out without me pulling it. If I pull it, what happens is sometimes I can pull that wrap, that under wrap, off to one side or the other. Not too important on the under wrap like this, but when I do the over wrap, it is very, very important. I get to the end here and pull it out, and you can see that you can see the tinsel underneath, the stars of the tinsel underneath, and the let's call it aqua blue. I don't know, it's kind of an interesting blue. This is all bullard thread that I'm using today, and now all I got to do is back this out all the way to the other end. When I get done with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put 3 coats of finish over the top of it. But I'm not even going to use color preserver. This is raw thread, so there'll be a bleeding effect. What I will do, though, is just on the ends, I may put color preserver just on these tie-off ends here. Because I want to keep that color vibrant there, but not on the part that makes up the tiger wrap. So I'll go ahead and do all that, and we'll come back after I put the 3 coats of finish on it. Okay, once again we're back on the rod that I've been working on with the tinsel underneath and the medium blue in the middle that I didn't use any color preserver on the actual tiger part. And now I've done a second open layer with a dark blue. Again, I'm not going to use CP on it. It's very, very hard to see, but there is a pattern in there, very light. I'm going to see what it looks like when I put finish on it, and if it's too light I may put a third open layer over the top, but we'll just see how this comes out and get back to it in a little while. Okay, here's the eternity rod that I've been working on. I'm out in the sun. It's got it has the tinsel, the medium blue, and then I have one layer of dark blue over the top. Both layers of thread are open tigers. They're 3-thread tigers that I removed 2 threads, or sacrificed 2 threads. Out here in the sun you can barely see anything, if at all. I don't know what the camera's picking up. Maybe as it rotates around you can see a little bit. But it's a very, very faint pattern. Kind of nice. I'm not sure I'm going to stay with it, but I just wanted you to see this stage of it. I'm also going to film this under lower light conditions. This is directly in the sun. But the pattern's much more apparent in the lower light conditions. So this is what I've got so far. I'm going to try taking it from the other side. I want to get all angles of this, see what it looks like. Okay, here it is from straight in line from the butt. You can see an overall blue effect to it, but again you can't see the pattern at all. But even this is kind of pretty. Now I'm going to switch around to this side, which is where my shadow is, so I'm going to try to stay out of the shadow. But there it is from this side. Again, you're not seeing much of the pattern. Now I'm going to shut this down and do it in the shade. Okay, here we are in the shade. As the light gets lower, it becomes more and more apparent what the pattern looks like. Got the dogs getting ready to go off on me here. But you should be able to see the pattern now. It's actually quite an attractive pattern. But like the rods that I did for Kenny Price, the blue seems to be just floating around in the finish, unlike most tigers. And that's probably because there is no solid bottom layer of tiger wrapping. So I think you can see the patterns. I'm hoping you can through this camera. I'll try from the other side and see what I get from over there. Okay, it's from the other side. You can see the patterns pretty good. About the same as it was the other way. I really do like the patterning. I like the look overall, but I may put one more coat of finish on and then put another coat of dark, or another wrap of open dark thread over the top. I really want something that is super visible for this rod, because it's a very special rod. It's one of the Infinity from, or the Eternities from Rain Shadow. So we'll see what it ends up, and of course I'll keep you advised on what I do and what things I add or subtract. Okay, here's the Eternity rod that I started work on. It's going to be my stick. Again, I'm playing with the tinsel, and one more little caveat on this one, or a little tweak that I did on this one. It's actually 3 open layers of thread. So I started off, I put the tinsel on the bottom. It's actually a star tinsel. It has little stars of different sizes, and it's iridescent. You can see it in real life, but it's really hard to pick it up on film. And then I put 3 coats of finish. My first wrap was kind of a medium blue, a turquoise blue. You can see it on the edge there, right in this area right there. Kind of a turquoise blue. I think it's a bullard thread. Pretty sure it was a bullard thread. Anyway, I wrapped it with white and another size A thread. Then I removed the 2 threads, leaving just the turquoise blue. Again, 3 coats of finish. Then I've been experimenting a lot, especially while I'm doing this tinsel, with putting the finish on raw thread or plain thread without color preserver, which allows the tinsel to kind of bleed through it a little bit. Came out really good on Batson's rod, where I put white over this same starry tinsel, and it kind of bled through. Since there was no color preserver on it, it bled through and gave me an opal or pearl effect. And that's what I was trying with this. The first layer I did it without color preserver, and then the second layer I did it in a darker blue, kind of almost a 245, but again it was a bullard thread, and I didn't use color preserver. As you can see, if you take a look on the edges, there's the medium blue, and then there's this dark, almost black blue. I didn't use color preserver, and I put 3 coats finish over the top of that. I think I've already taken pictures, I'm hoping I did, of what the effect was. It was okay, you know, I mean, it was quite beautiful, but it was very, very vague, so I wanted to see if I could get a little more out of it. So I put a 3rd wrap, again 3 threads, but this time I did use color preserver because I wanted something to, contrast with what I've already done. So I used that same blue, it's a bullard blue, and I put color preserver on it, and this was the final result. You can see what the differences are when you use color preserver or not by that 3rd wrap, which is the same blue that I used on the one below. So now that I've talked you to death, I'm going to scan up this thing a little bit and see if you can pick up the patterns. They're, again, extremely soft, very vague, but in person, unbelievably attractive. The light blue is almost like a mist. It doesn't, it's not hard like when you do a regular tiger wrap. So, the patterning is unbelievable on all this. Again, you may not be able to see it. So I'm going to take this into a room without, just the natural light of the room, and see if I can get some pictures in there, because sometimes you get a better effect on what the wrap actually looks like. So we'll see how that works out. I hope this comes out as well on film as it does in person. And this is inside. Still there's a little bit of a light line on it, but it's inside a room, normal daytime light in the room, and I can see the patterns much better. Again, they're not sharp patterns like you would get in most Throop Tiger wraps, but this modification to his technique gives you a much, I don't know how to describe it, it's very vague, it's like a mist hidden inside the finish. It's very attractive, and in here I believe you can see the stars shining through. Now there's other types of tinsel. Some tinsel has like tiger stripes, real tiger stripes. Some tinsel has little iridescent bubbles. All I've found is on silver with an iridescent, almost oil film look. Now, which brings me to another thing, which I'm going to soon be starting some tests with the same technique and then adding in the use of Mylar, which Harold Dunham has done quite a bit of work. I believe he's in Texas, the guild president. Anyway, he's done quite a bit of work with that, and I saw the first example of that type of work, I believe, at the St. Croix gathering in Wisconsin last year. And I've been experimenting with it. I've found different types of Mylar. Going to take me a while, just like everything else, to try different things, and there's always some successes and there's always some failures. But with this stuff, it seems a lot of the failures are also attractive. They're just not what I was looking for. So there you go. I think that came out much better here in the room, and I'll be excited to see what it looks like when I bring it, when I download it and try to put it together. Okay, if you're hearing whirring and buzzing noise in the background, I'm sorry. I'm doing this in my aquarium room in the patio, where I presently have about 1 billion, that's maybe a little over exaggeration, but an awful lot of koi fry. Another thing that I like to play around with. So, excuse the whirring, and I hope you can see some of the effects that I'm so excited about here.